Yeah. God bless what she gave her. How cornally. Words cannot describe her. Best to see her for yourself. On her worst behavior. Yeah, she looks so innocent. She's a 10 with 5, and when she passed, we break the neck.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel yet again. And on this segment, I have my career motivation segment, and I'm with one of the guys that I look up to in fashion. He's from my hometown, so I'm very excited to interview Kagiso Mac Mashilo. He's the head designer and founder of Melerine Rose. Welcome to my channel.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm good, yourself?
I'm sorry I'm late.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Guys, I'm so late. Like, it's not even funny. But I want to get right into like how you started in the fashion industry and what made you interested in the fashion industry before you became a designer. What made you get into fashion?
I wouldn't say I was born to become a fashion designer. I am more into architect and interior design.
Okay.
So through the elements of architecture and the discipline of it, it ended up seeing myself being in the field of creating a voice through clothes. So I ended up seeing myself becoming one of fashion designers and studying fashion. Yeah.
Okay, and who do you look up to in the industry in South Africa? Who do you think are the leading fashion houses in South Africa?
I look to two people. I think what I've learned from them is discipline.
Yeah.
The people, it's David Tlale.
Yeah.
Right. I love his discipline. I can see that he has a vision of the Tlale house.
Yeah.
And also look at to one of my designers that mentored me. His name is Duelo.
Yeah.
He's running his brand that's called TN Collective.
Yeah.
Very amazing.
Is that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay, now tell me the process of you naming your brand, Melerine Rose. How did that come about? Like, how did the name come about? How did you create that?
My style is more into luxury. I love everything about luxury. I love diamonds and pearls. I love the finest.
No,
I love the finest. I love the finest details.
Yeah.
I love craftsmanship. So there was a time when I was working at the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week as an intern, and the Marika, she was my line manager.
Yeah.
Through that, there was an event that was taking place for AFI, which was taking place in Melrose Arch.
Yeah.
Right. So I just keep on hearing the name Melrose Arch, and there's something called Melrose. I don't know. It's a cheesy.
Yeah, it is.
I was like Melrose Arch, Melrose. And there was a time when I was in a Gautrain and in Sandton, and I saw Alexandra Forbes. There was a building called Alexandra Forbes.
Yeah.
When you get out from the Gautrain station, and through that I was like, okay, cool. Let me work on something. And that's where I realized, you know what, let me call it Melerine Rose, right? So through that, that's the name came about, and I started looking into it, and I started looking into the designing perspective of Melerine and Rose. And I find it catchy, and I find it strong, and I find it standing me out. Like, you know, you wouldn't believe that it's us who's designing for that particular. You would think that that brand has so many years existence, only to find out it's like 2 to 3 years.
Plus, it sounds like an older white woman who has class with pearls and like a big mansion that has white linen and.
I think we'll get there.
I like it. I'm like, I can't wait for my I can't wait to afford you.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Once I afford you, like, I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't start off as a fashion. You didn't study fashion at that time when you started the brand, right?
Yeah.
So how did you come about studying fashion?
I was working with one of my friends. He's very good. He's introduced me to fashion, as I didn't know anything. But I was from the School of Arts. I was from the School of Architect and like architect in my school. So we call it EG, like graphic design. So I was learning about it. So through that essence, while I was working with him, the guy, after my grade 12, he introduced me to fashion. And along the way we departed, and from there on I decided, you know what, let me go and study this at my own. So that's where my considering for me to study fashion, it came about through that way.
So now you're like a full-on fashion designer. You're not just like the business behind it. You're like the whole brand.
I'm more into developing myself as well, because I'm more into the business of it. And through that particular business, now I'm developing myself to become an artist, so that I can have imagination, I can have so much of vision, because of what I have right now is the vision of the business, not the imaginations of the creative side. So it's very difficult to move from the space of discipline as a business person with the suits and everything, and you come from the creative side, because the creative side is quite complex. It's all about emotions. We use so much of emotion. So when you have a dress, it's like an imagination of, oh, I want this dress for Melerine, but who is Melerine that am I talking about? I think if we can cut it this way, it will look so cool for Rose. So that is a type of imagination that at the moment I'm keep on feeding into my mindset.
Okay, so tell me the process of you designing a garment. How do you start designing? Like, what inspires you to say, you know what, I want to do like a dress like this? And take us through the process of designing a garment. So how does it start? You like walking down the road and you like see something, you're inspired, you sketch? How does it go?
That's a beautiful question. I go through different elements. Like there's a lot of elements that I focus into. As I told you that I love associating myself with class. Like it can happen at some point. I remember it's last year while I was doing my campaign, which is I call it Water Lily, out of Melerine Rose. I was inspired by a flower in Japan. In Sri Lanka, it's called Water Lily. So I went to the How train station. And I was sitting down at the How train station. There was a lot of women coming up. And through that, I pick up different energy of those women. Others look like Melerine, others look like Rose. So through their style, I started, you know what, this is, I can change there and there. I love the way she walks, she represents me. So through that, I come up with a collection only by sitting at the How train station, looking how beautiful women are. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because of that was the only way for me to access the type of a woman that I'm trying to design for. Because you should remember, the people who use How train, they're using it for different moves, right? That's why I say it's for the people who are always on the move. You find others holding a traveling bag like it's going to France, somebody to France is going to Santa. So like there's an energy that I was picking up. So I work with energy most of the time, right? The other thing that I do is I love reviewing other people's work, like seeing your work, and I'll be like, you know what, I can change some certain things from that work that I've seen, because you need to understand we find inspiration there and there from other people, right? So through that I managed to come up with a very nice collection. I love buying magazines like Vogue magazine, architectural magazines. I love the space. The woman that I designed for, I always imagine what is she doing on a Saturday? What is she doing on a Sunday after church? Do you get my point? You might find out that she's sitting in a very beautiful garden, and a beautiful garden. Reading a book. Do you get my point? Maybe reading Michelle Obama. So these are the type of a woman that always fascinate my mindset. Also traveling. Also, no matter how far it might become, it might be international or locally. It's amazing. I love traveling. I'm fascinated by this street. It's called Mount Street. It's one of the expensive streets in South Africa. It's in Bryanston, right? There's a beautiful houses there. So like walking in that particular street, I can grab so much of imaginations. Hotels as well. I love malls. I love malls that are more relative into the art space, that are more relative into the accommodation space, like the Rose Arch, like places like Melrose Arch, and like Sandton as well. Those are the type of Hyde Park as well. So those are the type of spaces that really play a very huge role into my design.
So you take architecture as well as inspiration. You look at a building, then you're inspired by the way it curves.
Oh, I do a lot.
Guys, we're busy walking around. I'm not finding inspiration. Find your life, please. Okay, now tell me, was it difficult, the business aspect of it? How difficult is it to start your own brand? Because people sit down and like, I want to start a business, so but there's certain things like finance, building a brand itself, the recognition. How did you go? How did you go about starting it, and what was your challenges?
I think people need to understand this. When you start a business needs to remain on itself rather than you competing with the business, right? Okay. Especially in the fields of brands. Okay. Right? Melerine is a human being on its own, and Mac is a human being on its own. I shouldn't interfere with that brand. Do you get my point? Like being jealous about sustaining myself through that particular brand. You need to create the brand to become a brand on its own, to flourish on its own. You, the propeller to the brand. That's what the principle number one of starting a business in a way, right? The other thing is because of at some point your lifestyle becomes more expensive, end up costing your company as well because of your life. Because everyone is dreaming about the vision of driving Mercedes, right? And driving Mercedes that it's quite more expensive to your personal growth, also to the personal growth of the brand, right? So I decided, you know what, the first step that I'm going to do right now is to create a brand that can stand on its own, right? So that's why I created Melerine Rose, right? So through that particular way of me creating that brand and how I sustain it, it also comes back to a point whereby it's like, with this brand, what's really important about it, it's the vision. Yeah. Do I have the vision? Succession plan, such things. Those are the things that are very important before you can throw money into it. I understand that. Lewis Hamilton, yeah. Huh? Lewis Hamilton is releasing his collection.
He has a collection?
Actually, Lewis told me. Come on, Louis, just drive Formula One, guy.
Let him be, people. Let him. Maybe he wants to retire.
Drive your Formula One. I think it's very important for people to understand, like, in an essence of a business, of a brand, right? As I've said, that the brand needs to be on its own. It needs to sustain itself, stand on its own. We don't know the owners of Coca-Cola, but Coca-Cola still stands there. Exactly. That's what I want, right? So it also happened to a manner whereby I said, you know what, in terms of, we go through a lot, especially in the business essence of this. I go through a lot financially and everything and stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that there's something that keeps me going at the end of the day. Like with the brand, I really don't want like getting the shortest way, like Instagram to market for me, Facebook to market for me. What I want to do is I don't want to have 10,000 or 15,000 of followers. I want to have about 10 people that I know that these people are going to buy my clothes. These people, they really mean a lot to me. Do you get my point? Because at the end of the day, we end up focusing on having a huge number of followers, but not making sense relatively to what you're designing for.
Because huge numbers don't sustain the business itself anyways.
At the end of the day, that's the thing. I mean, I need to create a chain of revenue. Do you get my point? I want to see a woman that when I showcase my collection, she can buy about 4 dresses.
Exactly.
That's what I'm looking for.
Retweet your work.
Yeah.
I get him. Like, that makes so much sense.
I focus on that. Like, that's my focus on the business. I focus on that. And it also gives me a spectrum of where can you find those women? How can you find them? Like, we come up with such amazing marketing at this moment. It's just quite a long story, but it's such an amazing marketing. We created a bookmarker. I'm giving away a bookmarker at the Gautrain station for the women that read books and everything stuff. No matter, we can focus on digital. Also the old traditional reading that's still there. Like myself, I love old reading rather than the digital side.
I love touching the page.
Touching the page. Yes, marking as well. Yeah.
All that.
So through that, you know what, I created a bookmarker. The bookmarker has my whole information and everything. And I sell that particular
bookmarker.
I sold that particular bookmarker for 5 francs. So those are the elements on my business perspective that I focus into. Because how I focus into, I want to do a show where I can send a relevant invitation, a card, exactly a serious card
Yeah.
to one of my clients. You might be in Cape Town, you might be whatever.
Yeah.
I'll tell my sponsors to say, you know what, sponsors, I have a model that stays in Cape Town, want to come to my show.
Exactly.
That's my mission and goals that I want to achieve into this brand.
Guys, yeah. Okay, so being from Pretoria, so your Mac is from Pretoria, Mapapani.
Yeah.
And being from where you are, from where I come from, and the environment that we're in is not really as motivating as other people would think.
Yeah.
We don't have more access to certain things that people have.
Yeah.
So what is it, do you think, that you are doing to motivate kids that see you, kids that see your work, kids that like watch my YouTube channel and hear me talking about your brand? Like, what are you doing to motivate them and to show them that things are possible, whether you want to be a doctor, whether you want to be a designer, a speaker, a model? Like, what is the process of that? What is Melerine Rose doing in that aspect?
I think the team of MNR, we are driven by curiosity. That's what keeps us apart from the community that we come from. We are driven by imaginations. What you can take it into consideration is, and we are living in the moment where people are no longer imagining anymore. Things are just coming the way. If I want to see Game of Thrones, just wait for it to come out, right? If I want to see, if they're talking about Bonang's dress in the Met Gala or whatever, Rihanna's dress in the Met Gala, I mean, everyone was like, you know what, how are we going to see it on Instagram? It comes and people no longer imagine how the dress look like.
Exactly.
So we are driven by that. So through that, we allow to use the space and channels like Instagram, Facebook, where we can keep up the updates with what we're doing. But what I've realized about my community, and actually my community like ours, is the manner of they really appreciate and they really take it into consideration the sooner when they see you on TV. That's what they do. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
They don't take the opportunity of the growth.
Yeah.
That's why with the flower on the campaign that I was talking about, it was talking about the growth. Most of the people, they look at the beauty of the rose when it's already blossomed.
Yeah.
They don't look at the roots of it.
Yeah.
That's why water lily grows under the water, where everyone cannot see its own strength, its own possibilities. So the sooner when it pops up on the surface, everyone's like, I love that flower. That flower has been so beautiful from all days. Oh yeah.
All along it's been there.
Yeah, so we use social medias to try to communicate with our clientele, to also try to communicate with our community. At this moment, there's a young girl, she's from Fumani, she's studying Fumani, like she's doing grade 9 actually. So she wanted to become a designer. I gave her an opportunity. She comes each and every Saturdays to learn what we're doing. We sit down while speaking to clientele. She's there.
Yeah.
I gave her a challenge to design dresses and everything stuff. And I can see her work. It's quite amazing. And I would love to see her growing as well. Like, I love what she's doing because she's paving herself. So when she's looking at internship, she's already far ahead from that. I wish a friend of mine said something and said, you know what I've realized is we're creating our own testimony. We're creating our own revelation because we have no people that we can look upon up to in our community. We don't have designers into our community, and design has been associated with some certain class, a certain language and whatsoever. So breaking these boundaries, it needs imagination. It needs curiosity. Because of imagination, a vision that links together. Because of the vision that I was been thinking about, I also came across with in Cape Town when I said, you know what, I run a brand called Melerine Rose. There's a beautiful lady who's like, you know what, I know that brand. I never thought that even people in Cape Town know the brand. So that was an excitement. That was a vision that I said, you know what, start wherever where you are. Impact wherever where you are. It's unfortunate that sometimes the impact might not be so huge from your community. But outside there, it can become something else.
You recognize, you appreciate it. I love that. I love that. You also work with young girls, models, aspiring models, like to just help them with their confidence and whatnot. That's one thing I love about you. But now, this is the question. Like, this is what I've been wondering all along. I know Melerine Rose is inspired by the elegance of a woman. But will Melerine Rose ever cater for men?
We will never cater for men.
Wow, guys. Ouch.
Yeah, it's a sadful moment. Like I know, even at school, like I knew what this brand stand for. Even when I was designing at school, I'll be like, you know what, like I'm not interested in menswear. Like honestly, I'm not interested in menswear. I'm more interested
Guys,
into women's wear.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. I'm sorry. But I think that's it for what the questions that I have for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we were supposed to see some of his designs, but I was late because he had fittings today. So I'm sorry, guys. You would see some of his work, but I'll try to get some of the pictures and I'll merge them with the video so that you can see some of this work. And thank you for your time.
Can I add a question?
What's your problem?
Oh,
Okay, it's just interfere.
no, I'm curious with the business side. You seem to have done very well with business as well.
Yeah.
And just if you could give some advice to people on how they can prepare themselves, what they can study, or how you went about it to get the kind of business studies that you have to bring your business to where it is now.
I think that is a beautiful question. For people to, like, I don't have any business study degree or diploma or whatever. It's I think what drives me forward is the vision. The sooner when you have a vision of something, you will end up knowing the direction of where you're trying to go. Do you get my point? Because of the vision will direct you to the type of a clientele that you're trying to tap into. Like as I've said, Melerine, the type of a standard of her Melerine. And the question is, what is she doing? How is she grabbing attention, right? So through that, studying the theory of your business, it will lead you to a relevant path. Again, it's whatever what you're trying to do, it's already existing. Look how other people are doing it.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. You cannot just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to do this, and thinking you are the only person who's doing it. People have been doing it for so many years. Do you get my point? And they died, like as Chanel have said, it's going to be a lot of us who start brands, but how many will survive? That's the other thing, right? So if you can end up thinking, because at the end of the day, people are more into the heritage of their business. They sell the heritage. Like Louis Vuitton sell the heritage. Do you get my point? So we buying the heritage. The question is, do we have our own heritage? Do we have our own vision? Because if we start working internally, before the business aspect, internally of the business, we'll start understanding the elements of an approach to how our business needs to elevate. And the other thing is advice. It's very important to work for someone. Working for someone, it's very important because of it will help you to save a lot of mistakes. Because if I worked for Duelo, I also volunteered to work at AFI, and through that particular thing, I've learned how they approach. But Duelo, I've realized like how to make someone become a brand ambassador. Through Duelo, I have learned how to talk with clients. And also he taught me something and said, you know what? Do not create a brand and allow the brand to become itself rather than you competing with the brand. Do you get me? So through that, I realized, you know what? I need to protect this brand more than protecting myself. So through that, I realized, you know what? This is how I'm going to approach the business. So also the digital aspect, like I went to the business of fashion. There's a link is called the business of fashion. I also look at to their articles and everything stuff. And biz community, it teach about marketing as well. I look at to that. So through that, and also the magazines as well. That's where you start reading other people's articles and everything and stuff. So, but most important, people ask me, what does Melerine Rose stand for? It's a most important question. It's Melerine. It's an elder woman. It's a woman who appreciates quality. She's a woman who loves standard.
Yeah.
She works hard for herself. She knows her worth.
Yeah.
Right. Regardless she comes from a rich family or whatsoever, she always strives to find her potential in each and every field that she is. So when you look at two people like Connie Ferguson, we start as fools and we learn through process. That's the things that drives me insane at the end of the day. And when you look at to Chimamanda Ngozi, when you look at to women like Michelle Obama, when you look at to Oprah Winfrey, those are the type of women that I'm talking about. It's a woman that doesn't have facts, but it does have actions rather than facts. Because you should understand that actions create possibilities. Actions create a value. Action creates lose or win. But at the end of the day, it's about you and the vision of where you're going. And Rose is a young girl, so when she grows up, she wanna see herself as Melerine. So Rose, she's still learning the ups and downs of Melerine. She loves to reveal her body there and there. She loves unisex clothes. She's always elegant, but she always finds her water through Melerine. So when I design into those two elements, I design for Melerine and I also design for Rose. At some point you will see in my design that I combine the two. I can combine dresses that cover the whole body, but it's open there and there to accommodate a Rose. So those are my design aesthetic that comes from that will be my conclusion.
Guys, we are all Rose, growing to be Melerine, I can say. But thank you guys. Thank you for watching my channel. Comment down below and ask Mac questions. I'll make sure that he answers you guys, and I'll definitely make sure that I connect you, and I'll write all his social media details on the description down below. And I love you guys. Bye.